Good evening and welcome everybody to our webinar tonight. We're going to be talking about a topic that I know we've had much discussion about, and that's really understanding the roles of OneSource and PANTHERx in patient support. So I'm excited to be here tonight and to have our guest speakers. And I'd like to thank our sponsor, Alexion, for their support in making this webinar possible. Before we actually get involved in the webinar and have the speakers, we just have a couple of housekeeping items. You're on mute right now. Please keep your microphone off to optimize sound for the presenters and to eliminate any background noise. After the meeting, after the Q&A, the attendees will be automatically directed into the region breakout rooms. If you have any trouble with being directed into those breakout rooms, please send us a message in the chat so we can ensure that you are appropriately assigned. And then finally, you can send your questions through the chat window. If you look at the bottom of your screen where the Zoom menu is, there's a chat icon. If you click on that and type your question in that window, we will get to that when we get to the Q&A portion. So without further ado, I'm really excited to introduce our speakers tonight. From PANTHERx, we're joined by Dennis Rasmussen. He's the Strensiq Program Director at PANTHERx, and he works to ensure that each patient has the best experience possible along with their journey managing their Strensiq therapy. Dennis and the Strensiq team at PANTHERx have a deep understanding of the unique challenges associated with HPP management, as well as beginning and staying on therapy. And were we able to get Brittany? I think we were. Brittany, can you hear me? Okay, well, we can see Brittany. Hopefully we can hear her. Brittany Efros is a RareCare supervisor, and she oversees a dedicated team of patient care coordinators, technicians, and pharmacists working in close collaboration with Dennis to implement project plans to enhance patient experience. Then on the OneSource side, working as a case manager with Alexion, we have Sarah Hansen. Hi, Sarah. And she joined Alexion back in 2014, working with patients in Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Tennessee, Michigan, and Illinois. Before Alexion, Sarah worked as a nurse in the emergency department in a pediatric ICU, and also in the emergency department as a nurse at some hospitals in Connecticut. She lives on the coast in Connecticut with her almost 16-year-old daughter, Olivia, and two golden doodles, Gilmore and Iris. And in her free time, she enjoys gardening, beach days, and traveling. Sounds fabulous. So I'd like to turn it over to you, Dennis, to start us off and kick us off, working with Brittany to talk a little bit about the PANTHERx services and how you support patients.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'm getting my screen set up here. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here and speak with our patients. Can you guys see that?
Yep, we can see it. Excellent.
So yeah, thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's always great to be able to connect with our patients. It's been a while since I was able to speak directly with you guys, so thank you. Is a lot of you guys I know are aware that we dispense Strensiq at PANTHERx. We have since the drug came out back in 2015, almost 6 years ago now. And what we do is we really focus on rare diseases and focus on some of the unique challenges that are associated with having a rare disease and the journey it takes to get from just to get a diagnosis all the way to be able to get your medication. And ultimately our goal is to help you along your journey to improve your life. So we take that very seriously, and you know, that's in our mission statement, and that's why we're here. So we have 3 locations now. We have our main location is in Pittsburgh, and on Summit Park. That's where your Strensiq RareCare team is located. And then we have another pharmacy that we had to expand. because of our growth. So we opened another pharmacy in Pittsburgh as well. In addition, we have a third facility in Ohio that we utilize.
Excuse me, Dennis.
Yes. Oh, sorry. There.
Dennis, I just want to let you know your slides went away. We just see a Zoom screen on your.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
There. User technical difficulties there. So apologies. As I was saying, we have 3 locations, and the main one is on Summit Park Boulevard, which is where your Strensiq team is located. And we pride ourselves on our ability to really connect with our patients, and it shows in some of the industry standard, these patient satisfaction scores. Some of you guys may have participated in a survey that kind of measures our satisfaction, and we're consistently at the top of the industry as far as the patient feedback we get. And it's not by coincidence. It's because we do take it very seriously. That's one of the reasons why we love to connect with our patients, is to be able to get that direct feedback and take that back and really turn it into an actionable item to be able to make it a better experience for you guys. And basically our role is, it's kind of summarized in this slide. It's really wordy, but to kind of bring it all together is, once you finally get that diagnosis and your doctor writes a prescription, they're going to send it to us. There's several different ways they could get it to us. Most commonly, they're going to fax it in. But once we get that, then we're going to do clinical assessment pretty quickly based on the information we have. And working with your doctor's office, we're also going to be able to determine what your insurance coverage looks like, what information we may still need to be able to get your medication approved through the insurance company. And as you know, sometimes that could be a bit of a lengthy process. You know, there may be some testing needed. A lot of insurance companies are pretty particular about their approval criteria. Once we do get that approval, we're going to be able to use a couple different options to get that copay down as low as possible. Hopefully to 0, that's our goal. And then get that shipment to you and schedule your first delivery. When we call that first time to schedule, you'll get a counseling with a pharmacist and give you a lot of information, some very specific to Strensiq, how it's stored, how to dose it, what to expect, and some good resources for you to utilize as well. And then from there on out, we're going to reach out to you every month to schedule your shipment. We'll talk about any challenges you may have. Of course, if there's ever any issues, there's a pharmacist on call 24/7. So we try to always be available and really targeted in our conversations and trying to help you guys stay on therapy. A lot of clinical education and support programs that Brittany is heavily involved in. She's helped develop. So some good stuff going on there. And your feedback would be greatly appreciated on anything throughout this cycle. So a little bit about our RareCare team and how we define a RareCare team is, it's we have dedicated personnel that worked specifically with Strensiq to help every step along the way. Unfortunately, the last time we got together, I was able to get a group photo of the team. But with COVID and a lot of our staff working remotely, a group photo just isn't feasible these days. So, but the team consists of pharmacists, nurses, reimbursement specialists that work with your insurance company, pharmacy technicians, and patient care coordinators. And then there's the clinical call center, of course. That's who you guys talk to and schedule your refills. And then there's also customized clinical programs. So we're always trying to take a look at things that we're seeing that might help you guys along the way. Our patient care coordinators, like I said, you guys speak to these girls all the time. Nicole, Ashley, Shannon, and Susan. They're there to schedule your refills. They take calls on any questions you may have, regarding your storage devices, your Strensiq. They're a key cog in the operation there. The nurses that we have, Teresa, Sheila, and Haley, they're a little behind the scenes for a lot of you guys. They work very closely with your doctor's office. I know that they've spoken to a lot of you guys as well. But what they do is they take a look at the documentation sent by your doctor's office and kind of match it up to your insurance plan to make sure that whenever we submit for that authorization, you're going to get the best odds at getting approval. And that's where our insurance specialists come in. These people are amazing. They deal with insurance companies all day long, and they do a really fantastic job. And they know a lot about the reimbursement area in terms of regional plan variants. So a little bit of experience goes a long way in terms of knowing how to deal with these insurance plans. And then, of course, our pharmacists and technicians, Stephanie, Lynn, Krista, Dustin. We have Brittany, and Dina is the operations manager. And what do we really do? We work really closely with OneSource. We have a great relationship with OneSource, with the understanding that everybody's goal is to make sure that you guys have a great experience. We offer full on-call support 24/7. We talk through the monthly touch points for the refill calls. Of course, if you guys ever have any questions or issues, just pick up the phone and call us or email us. We do send out text messages. These are automated messages that can remind you to call in for your refill, or once you get a shipment, it will send you confirmation that your shipment was mailed with the tracking number. Also, if we can't get in touch with you, and you've opted into texting, we will give you a nudge through text just to give us a call. We have enhanced pharmacist counseling for, say, there's an injection site reaction. We have a whole process built out to make sure that you guys have the most up-to-date information on how to mitigate those injection site reactions. And that's just one example of some of the enhanced clinical efforts we have. Shipping coordination, traveling with Strensiq can be a real challenge. So we can help kind of address those issues. We can ship to anywhere within the country. So if you're going to be somewhere and you're going to be there for a while and you can just take your shipment at that location, we can send it there. If not, we can work with you in OneSource to find another solution. And of course, natural disasters. We have a team of people that track hurricanes, especially this time of year, and try to get you your medication, kind of work it around the storm and make sure that everything is okay on your end. don't want you missing any medication. There's a lot, as we all know, there's a lot of weather delays as far as shipping goes. We work with Danby microfridge and the temp stick devices. These are great little storage devices. If you need one, let us know. We'll help coordinate that. And then, of course, the Stericycle mailback exchange and our cooler return program. That's where you, the shippers that the Strensiq comes in, we know they can be kind of cumbersome, so we don't want you guys to have to worry about it. We send a return FedEx label and even a strip of tape with every shipment, and you should get that. And at that point, you can get in touch with FedEx and they'll just come pick it up and bring it back to us. So, there's more. I didn't want to take up too much time, but that's high level summary of what our RareCare team offers and what we do for our Strensiq patients. So I think at this point, I will hand it off to Sarah, our partner at OneSource. I'm going to stop my screen.
All righty. Hi, everyone. And I am going to try to share my screen. Deb, if you just want to confirm that you could see my OneSource slide.
I can. You're
right.
driving.
Perfect. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Hansen, and I get the good fortune. Actually, I get to work with Dennis and talk with Dennis multiple times a day. I am a case manager from OneSource, and I really thank you all for being here tonight to learn a little bit about the program. So like Deb mentioned, I have been with Alexion with case management for almost 8 years now. And it has truly been my honor and my privilege to work with patients and caregivers and to help people along their journey. And so I'm happy to talk to you tonight about some of the services that we have to offer. So what is OneSource? We are a team of case managers who provide complimentary and personalized patient support. By complimentary, I mean that the program is free. We are available at no cost to the patient. And I think most importantly, we are personalized. We are patient-centric. We truly believe that every patient is unique and at a different point on their journey. And we are here to support you on whatever point in the journey you are and to tailor our support to your needs. So we provide resources to support patients at every step along the journey. The four main pillars of the services that we provide are education, health insurance navigation, community connections, and ongoing support. And I really like to stress that we are your advocates. And as your advocates, we want to empower you with the tools to make the informed decisions and the best decisions for you. So the first pillar is education. And when a new patient calls into OneSource, he or she may have been just diagnosed, or maybe they have had the diagnosis for a while and are very knowledgeable. And we are here to work with patients and caregivers to support them in their understanding of their condition. While HPP is rare, it's not rare to us. We work with HPP all day, every day. And we have advanced disease and treatment education that we can pass on to you. We can provide educational materials like brochures and websites and details about an Alexion treatment and the treatment process. And for HPP patients who are on an Alexion treatment, we can provide education on the subcutaneous injection training program. We also have health insurance expertise. So we all know health insurance can be pretty complicated. And we can provide patients with information that helps to explain the insurance coverage for the Alexion product. If there are any financial concerns or gaps in coverage, we can provide resources that may be able to cover the cost of the out-of-pocket for that Alexion treatment, like Dennis was talking about earlier. And OneSource provides information to patients about their options for accessing treatment, regardless of their insurance status. So one of the things that I wanted to go over was the Alexion OneSource CoPay program. So this is a program that pays for eligible out-of-pocket medication costs where applicable for associated qualifying Alexion products. And this copay support can be up to $15,000 per calendar year. And it is available to patients who have commercial insurance and are enrolled in OneSource. You must have a valid prescription for an FDA-approved indication for an Alexion product, and you must reside in the US or one of its territories. And if you want to learn more about the program, you can find more information at alexiononesource.com. And if you don't have commercial insurance, if you have a non-commercial insurance, we can assist by providing you with some information about some alternative third-party organizations that might be able to help. And we can also help you to connect with other patients. Whether you're on an Alexion treatment or not, patients may want to connect with other patients who are on an HPP journey. And OneSource can provide information on upcoming in-person or online events, much like what we're doing right now. We can connect you with advocacy groups, or we can even connect you with peers through an Alexion Peer Connects program. Because what we like to say is that HPP is rare, but you are not alone. And then last but not least, we provide and support patients throughout their entire treatment journey. Life changes, right? Insurance can change, we can get married or start a new job, move, or maybe we get to go traveling someday again. So Alexion, your case manager, will work together with your healthcare provider and the specialty pharmacy to ensure that you can continue to receive your medicine as prescribed, no matter the life change. So what does this process look like? I have up here an example, but I want to stress that this is only an example because this process very often is not linear. So it starts with the patient signing the OneSource enrollment form and submitting it to us. And next, the OneSource case manager is going to reach out to the patient and to the provider's office. We're going to reach out to the patient and we make a welcome call. We introduce ourselves. We go over the program and what our role is. And we start to provide some disease education, maybe some treatment education. And I think it's really important to stress that we do it at the patient's own pace. Sometimes it's one phone call, maybe it's a couple of phone calls, because it's really important to us that you're able to absorb and digest all of the information, like I said earlier, so that you have the tools to make the best choices and decisions for you. And then we're also going to call the provider's office, do something similar, introduce ourselves. We will confirm that we got your enrollment, and we will also ask about any sort of plan of care. So then the next step in this linear slide that I have in front of you is that the healthcare provider will submit the prescription. And so now we're going to start to work with the specialty pharmacy. We're going to work with them to review your insurance, out-of-pocket costs, and any prior authorization requirements. And when we're reviewing those out-of-pocket costs, we're also going to, at that time, look at any available resources to support those. And then once we receive an approval, specialty pharmacy is going to arrange to have the drug shipped, and your OneSource case manager is going to continue to provide that ongoing support. We can provide information on field injection training, And then the patient will receive field injection training or injection training, whichever you prefer with your physician or provider, and receive the first injections. And from there, you're going to continue on with the treatment. And the case manager is going to continue to make outreaches to you, outreaches to the provider, to connect and provide that ongoing support, those life changes that we talked about. And you'll continue to have that support as you go along on your patient journey. So I stress, we are here. OneSource is here to support you through the full patient journey from end to end and all the moments in between that matter. We are here. We're available 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're able to cover all of the time zones. And how can you reach us? So you can certainly call in. The phone number's here, 888-765-4747. You can send us an email at onesource@alexion.com, or you could always go and visit the website, alexiononesource.com. And thank you. Thank you very, very much for having me tonight and listening. And we are always here and available and hope to talk to you soon.
That's great. Thank you so much to both Alexion and PANTHERx for all this great information. I know that I had a lot of questions that were answered myself during your presentation. We did get a couple questions in the chat, so I think there's about 3 questions here. One is, we accidentally left our medication out the other night and we weren't sure who to call. Who would be the right person or number to call to see if the medication is usable? I don't know who wants to take that one.
I can take this one if you'd like me to, Dennis.
Okay, Brittany, go ahead.
Yeah. So hi, everyone. Thanks for letting me be a part of this today. It's really great to be able to present to you guys and be able to answer these questions. In response to your question, I would certainly recommend giving us a call here at PANTHER, just using the Strensiq line. There is the option to speak with a pharmacist. That would be the correct individual who'd be able to tell you next steps as far as being able to use your medication, the stability of it, things like that. If there is not a pharmacist available, if it is after hours, we do have an on-call pharmacist who will get back to you within the hour. What we would recommend, though, is whenever you identify that the medication may be left out, I would not use it until you speak to one of the pharmacists here at PANTHER. So whether it's myself, whether it's Krista, whether it's Dustin, or a pharmacist on call, we're happy to walk through to determine the medication stability for you guys. So definitely give us a call and we'll be able to help.
Perfect. Another question is, if I have a question about dosing, meaning they want to change their dosing schedule to a different, day per week, who would be the right person to call for something like that?
So I'll jump in on that one. Anything related to dosing schedule, changes to your medication routine, we advise you to contact your healthcare provider.
Terrific. And then there's 2 last questions, but I think they can actually be combined. One of them is, do I need to be on Strensiq to speak with OneSource? And then there's a similar question. I haven't been diagnosed with HPP yet, but I'm in the process and I'm looking for support. Can I call OneSource to get that support during my diagnosis?
So OneSource is here to support a diagnosis of infantile or juvenile onset HPP at any point throughout the journey. So I think, like I stressed earlier, you don't have to have a prescription or be on an Alexion product to call into OneSource. Call in, meet your case manager for whatever state you're aligned to, and they can, start the process of providing you with any education that you might need.
Great. Well, that's it for the questions. And I want to thank all of you, Dennis, Brittany, Sarah, for joining us